Hi, I'm Alex.
And I'm Dylan.
And for the next few weeks, we're going to cover the NFL playoffs. To start off, we're going to recap the wild card weekend. So, as the first and second round seeds have had a bye week, the Patriots for the first round, Steelers for second, and then for the NFC, the Eagles and the Vikings. And Dylan's going to go over the scores.
All right, so what we saw on Wild Card Weekend, we had the Titans to the Chiefs. Everybody thought that was going to be an easy game for the Chiefs, but they ended up falling behind by 1 point to the Titans, 22-21. Then we saw in the AFC the Bills and the Jaguars. A very low-scoring game, very controversial in the last few seconds of the game with the interception. We know with the ground rule. And many people think that shouldn't have been an interception, which would have led the Bills on their drive to win the game. That was a 3-10 game. The Jaguars coming up, so they're going to be going to Heinz Field. Titans are going to be seeing the Patriots up in Foxborough. And then we have in the NFC the Falcons and the Rams. The Rams were everybody's favorite pick for this one, and Falcons came up 26-13. Great game. So the Falcons are going to be going up to Philly. And then we had the Panthers playing the Saints. And that was a hard game to pick when you have the NFC South having 3 teams in the playoffs. And just 2 years ago or 3 years ago, they were all 9-7. So it was kind of funny to see three of them go to the playoffs this year. So no one really knew where the Panthers and the Saints were going to go, but Saints came up on top, 31-26. So they're going to be at Minnesota. And then after that, tune in with us next week, and we're going to give you a divisional roundup, and then we're going to do picks for the conference championship. Thank you.
Good morning. In the divisional round, we have the Patriots playing the Titans. I don't think that'll be much of a game. I think the Patriots will take care of them. Marcus Mariota is a good story right now, but unfortunately his time ends this week. In the NFC, we have the Falcons visiting Philly. I think the Falcons, with their playoff experience, I think they're going to knock off Philly. Once again, Philly's a great story. They're too young. I think Philly in the next couple of years could be creating a nice little dynasty, but this year is too early. Going to the Saints and Vikings, this is a tough one. I think Minnesota is going to have the defense to stop Drew Brees and that powerful offense. Brees, he's very good at excelling with a poor defense. On his own, I don't think they're enough to stop the Vikings this year, though. I think the Minnesota is going to impose their will upon the Saints defensively, and it's going to be a low-scoring game, and they're going to win. Now, Steelers-Jags, the game of the week. I think, right, you're looking at this, you have a Steelers team who's rested for 2 weeks, a Steelers team who's getting Antonio Brown back, getting a cornerback back, Joe Hayden, and they're almost at full strength right now. You have a Jags team who has the worst quarterback in the playoffs, and they're going to Heinz Field. And all the analysts are going to tell you this is going to be a tight game, it's going to be a close game, Jacksonville's going to win, they beat them before. Not going to happen. My prediction is Steelers are going to beat the Steelers are going to beat Jacksonville. That spreads, they're going to beat them by a margin higher than the Patriots beat the Titans. I think Pittsburgh makes quick work of these guys and goes into the AFC Championship, and that analysis will be coming later. Thank you.
So for my picks for the divisional round, for the Patriots and the Titans, I think it's going to be closer than a lot of people say, but I still think the Patriots are going to come up on top. For the Steelers and Jaguars, I think just because Jags last time had a dominating defense, getting 5 picks, I think they're coming in there with that confidence, and they're going to beat the Steelers. Close game, though. The Falcons and Eagles, I think the Falcons are going to upset the Eagles just because with their backup quarterback, I don't think he has enough experience or just doesn't have it. I think the Falcons are going to win that game with playoff experience. The Saints and Vikings, I'm picking the Vikings over the Saints just because the Vikings, amazing defense and just overall good offense with Case Keenum as their leading quarterback. Thank you.
Now for this week's playoff games, here's your winners. You're going to have New England easily rolling over the Titans. I see, I hate to even say this, but the Steelers are going to be able to beat the Jags. That sets up for a nice loss the next week, though. This week, we also have the Eagles playing the Falcons. A lot of people think the Falcons are going to go into Philly and beat them. I'm not agreeing with that. I think Philly is going to pull out that win even with the backup QB. And we got the Saints and the Vikings. A lot of people loving the Vikings on this one. I'm actually going to go with the Saints on this. So what you're going to see is the Patriots, the Steelers meeting next week. You're going to have the Eagles and the Saints, both underdogs this week, playing each other next week for a trip to the Super Bowl. And we'll see what happens from there.
All right, my picks for this week, going into the AFC divisional round, we're going to go to the Titans-Patriots game. That one's going to be a no-brainer for me. If it was the Chiefs going, or another team, if the Jaguars, I think it was if the Jaguars, I think the Jaguars would have played the Patriots in the other scenario. If it was the Jaguars-Patriots, that would have been a good game. Titans, not even too young of a team. They just not enough playoff experience. I don't think they're going to beat the Patriots. It'll be, I don't know. I think it could be a 2-score game. Patriots come out on top for the AFC. Steelers and Jaguars. That's going to be a no-brainer for me. Obviously, I'm a Steelers fan, so there's the bias there. But going at it with a level head, everybody says, oh, Ben's going to throw 5 picks again. I don't think so. Ben's come off that. 2 weeks rest. AB coming back. Joe Hayden coming back. I think that we're just going to explode. The Killer Bees are going to do amazing, and Steelers are going to come back in a three-score game win. Then for the NFC, Falcons-Eagles. But I'm going to have to say the Falcons now. Julio Jones is an unstoppable beast. To Matt Ryan, you can never count him out. And the Eagles just do not have enough experience in the playoffs. You know, if they still had Wentz, the Eagles would be my first pick here, but without Wentz, it's a no-brainer. Nick Foles can't do it. Saints-Vikings. I'm going to have to go with the Saints here. I'm going to say the Saints because you can't count Drew Brees out. You know, Alvin Kamara, they're doing amazing. You know, their wide receiver core is awesome. Drew Brees just chucks the ball up and somebody catches it for him. And I just think that Case Keenum's going to crack under the pressure. That's my picks.